Among the delegates, Tom Mboya, the 28-year-old trade union leader from Kenya, son of an illiterate fisherman, graduate of Ruskin College, Oxford, and chairman of the conference. Mr. Kojo Botsio, Ghanaian Minister of External Affairs. Dr. Cartwright, an observer from America. And the German ambassador. In Black Africa, the Germans are not regarded as imperialists. And last of all, the hero of the nation, the man whose birthday is a public holiday and whose face appears on the country's stamps and coins, Kwame Nkrumah, Prime Minister of Ghana. The rash of slogans everywhere had put the delegates in a receptive mood for the fighting speech which Mr. Nkrumah had prepared. There were cries of freedom as he entered the hall.
We want, therefore, to develop our own community and an African personality. Others may feel that they have evolved the very best way of life, but we are not bound, like slavish imitators, to accept it as our mode. If we find the methods used by others are suitable to our social environment, we shall adopt or adapt them. If we find them unsuitable, we shall reject them. Fighters for African freedoms, I appeal to you in the sacred name of Mother Africa to leave this conference resolved to rededicate yourselves to the task of forming among the political parties in your respective countries a broad united front based upon one common fundamental aim and object, the speedy liberation of your territories. Don't let us also forget that colonialism and imperialism may come to us yet in a different guise, not necessarily from Europe. We must alert ourselves to be able to recognize this when it rears its head and prepare ourselves to fight against it. This mid-20th century is Africa's. This decade is the decade of African independence. Forward then to independence now. Tomorrow, the United States of Africa.
Already, Dr. Nkrumah has taken the first step towards his ambition. Ghana and the former French colony of Guinea are to form a federation. Next on the list could be Nigeria.
Hello, lovely people. Good day to you all, and welcome to our special discussion on Agyapa Minerals Royalties deal. You know, many civil society organizations in Ghana have accused government of massaging the figures of Ghana's annual gold royalties in an attempt to justify the Agyapa Minerals deal. And the same civil society organizations also accuse the government of underreporting the country's earnings from gold royalties and restricting access to information on the deals communicated to them. And with me today to discuss this controversial topic are two special gentlemen, but one of them is not available now. So I will begin with Okatakyie, my own very special brother Okatakyie, Nana Edu Gyamfi. Welcome, my very handsome gentleman brother. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to our special discussion. I know we are going to have a great time today discussing about the Agyapa Minerals Royalties deal. You know,
Great.
to begin with, can you please introduce yourself to the lovely people watching you on YouTube and Facebook, because we are live, as you know.
All right, thank you. Here is afternoon. It's 12:58 p.m. or 12:58 GMT, hours GMT. So I'll say good afternoon to my lovers, viewers, and listeners. My name is Okatakyie Nana Edu Gyamfi, a Ghanaian entrepreneur specializing in bullion and energy consulting. And I'm happy to be with you as we digest and dissect this controversial issue that has been going around in the country and abroad. So I'm very happy to be with you as we walk through this.
Bullion. Talking about bullion, my eyes are glittering already. Okay, now let's go. Let's go to business. You know, my question is, many people. Okay, it's not a question actually. Many Ghanaians hear about this Agyapa Minerals Royalties deal, but they have no clue. Can you tell us what it's all about?
Thank you, Grace. Before I start, as you said, that is right. This is a topic most Ghanaians really don't understand. So when it comes to social platforms or social forum or talks on it, you see a lot of people can contribute simply because they really don't understand. So I will just walk through this, and I just want to be very simple, devoid of technical words, so that at least my common man on the street can really understand. Yeah, now there is a special company that is set, which is called Agyapa. But before I come on that, I just want to start from somewhere. Ghana is having 18 registered concession mine, legally registered concession mine in Ghana. From this 18, only 12 is being mined now, currently. So somebody will ask, what is a concession? A concession is simply a legal document given to a miner to mine a specific place. For instance, if you are in Kumasi and you have a house, let's say I'm in Kumasi or I'm in Accra, I'm having a house, I've bought a house or I've bought a land, and I discovered that there is a gold or it rains and I discover gold dust, or I see some particles of gold, or I suspect there is gold on the land. It means the land I have to report to the Minerals Commission. Then Minerals Commission will come do a survey there. Then if Mineral Commission finds out that everything is okay, then that place is being set aside as a concession. So it means if I buy the concession or I buy the land, or somebody buys the land or the concession, the person will come, then negotiate with me, then give me some money, then I move from that place. Then as I move from that place, then the person can use it to mine. So a concession is a legal document given to a miner to mine a specific area. So in Ghana, we have 18 legally registered concession, but from these 18, only 12 is being used. The 16 are not in use. And after giving this concession to a miner, though the miner will be paying taxes and the rest, there's also something we call royalty. That is me giving you my concession to you to mine. Any proceed that will come out of it. For instance, in Ghana here, most of the mining companies are owned by foreign nationals, simply because it's a very high intensive business and needs sophisticated machines and skills. So we have the Ghanaians in the lower level. What I mean lower level is the small scale, but most of the large mining concessions or most of the large companies are being owned by Americans, Australian, South Africans. So when you come here, Newmont, Anglo Gold, all these companies are owned by big mining companies. So if you get this concession and you mine, when you start mining, there is a document or a legal document between you and the government that every proceed, like every gold that I'll get from this land, this percentage goes to the government. That is what we call royalty. So it's like giving you a concession to mine. After that, it's agreed that any gold that you get, for instance, if the worth of the gold is $10 million, I'm getting 2% of it, I'm getting 5% of it, I'm getting 20% of it. So these royalties, or this amount getting from it, is what we call royalties. And this royalties is invested and controlled in a company that is owned by government of Ghana, that is GOG. And the company is called Minerals Income and Investment Fund. So this is the company that controls all these royalties from these 16 concessions that the government has leased to these mining companies. So from the mining and to the gathering or the putting together of the MIF, that is the Mineral Income and Investment Fund, there is no problem here. Both the MPP and the NDC, nobody has a problem. The problem comes when the government purported to set up a company called Agyapa, that is special vehicle, that's for special vehicle purpose. That is what we call Agyapa. That is where the problem starts from. And initially, this company was called Asase, but currently it's called Agyapa. That is where the problem is. So somebody will ask why the set of this company, because one, the opposition party, the majority opposition party, that is NDC, is having some concerns about this Agyapa. As it comes to the MIF, they don't have any problem, but when it gets to Agyapa, that's where the problem is. And one of the problem is one, the opposition are arguing that they don't see the need for this new company set, because any duty or any role that this Agyapa royalty company will do, equally MIF, that is Mineral Investment and Income Fund, can do same. So why the need for this Agyapa setup? That is one problem, that is one concern of the opposition. Then the government also says he wants to list 49% of the shares. Mind you, all these royalties that is being put in the Mineral Income and Investment Fund to invest into these Ghanaian companies, the purpose of this fund is to make investment or to keep some money for the future generations. And Agyapa too is set to also sell some investment that is meant for future generation now. It's like we are selling it to get money now. So that is where the issue is. So it's like, why the need for this Agyapa? Because we know MIF can equally do the same. And the government is also arguing that he is setting up this MIF to serve as SPV so that this Agyapa can sell 49% of MIF, the total royalty. So let's say if the every year is known that MIF is getting $200 million from these royalties. So let's say if the total amount of money that MIF is having is $100 million, the government is saying he wants to sell 49% of that 100 million to Ghanaians and people who are interested to invest into this business. So that is where the problem is. So one is the opposition don't see the need for government to set up a new company. The government is also setting up that company simply because the government wants to list 49% of the shares on the stock exchange, or you want to sell. So that is one reason. And another concern is also the government is listing this 49% as $1 billion for 15 years. $1 billion for 15 years. And if you are getting $200 million per annum for 15 years, you are getting somewhere 2.2 or a little above billion dollars for the duration. So the opposition really don't understand why a company that worth 2.2 and over billion dollars for a period of 15 years, you say you are selling it or you are listing it 1 billion. This is also another argument from the opposition. And that's what the government is also saying. The government is also saying, hello, Grace.
I am not interrupting. Yeah, I'm not interrupting you, but you know, I also have a question. First of all, okay, you already addressed the first concern that I had. That if we already have the Minerals Commission, right? Or the Minerals Investment Fund. So is Agyapa even necessary? Can't this minerals income investment fund do everything that Agyapa is doing? Can't it be modified? Like if there are changes that need to be made to serve this same purpose, why the need to create Agyapa? You know, that has been the main question. And another question is, if government truly has nothing to hide about this deal, why are they reporting Ghana's gold royalties last year to be, let me check the figures, I think $123 million, when the actual figure, as they said, the actual figure received from the big companies alone, these big mining companies alone under the Chamber of Mines, is $200 million. So you see the contradiction.
I do really understand where you are coming from. You see, the government has some communicators. Do you understand? So sometimes when these communicators get a platform, what comes out of them, I wouldn't say is the party stance or the government stance. Sometimes it comes from their personal destiny. But as I'm telling you, it's now well established that government is getting $200 million per annum. So the rest figures that was quoted earlier has been diffused. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so now it's understand we are getting $200 million. That is why I said every year government is getting $200 million from it. So if for 15 years, it will be around 2.2 or something billion dollars. So that is the consensus of the NDC on the second point I was saying when you interrupted. So if I should continue.
Conversational. You need to take a break so that if I have any question or doubt, I can put it across.
Okay.
You know that I only asked about the deal, you know, like to give a brief detail about it, but you are going, just going.
Okay, no problem. So that is one point that the opposition is raising. That why do you sell or list a company that worth over $2 billion as 1 billion? And if you consult investment bankers, this is what they say. It has something to do with demand and supply, and this is what investment bankers say. When you are listing something on the stock exchange, you have to give it a low price. You have to list it low price so that the listing companies, that's the investment company that will sell these shares for you, you can get a lot of them on board. And when you get these companies, a lot of them on board, it means demand will be chasing supply. That is why sometimes you see that they will say Google started trading at $1 per share but ended $5 per share. It's like you get a lot of these investment bankers who will come on board to sell your shares for you. And as a lot of them comes, they sell more. And when they are selling more, the more people rush to buy the shares. So it's like demand will exceed supply. So for instance, you can start it from, let's say, $1 per share, but before you realize it will close at $5 per share.
Okay.
So as we are getting, as we are getting 2 point a little above billion dollars, government is expected to get over $5 billion within the period, simply because he is using this strategy. And when we talk to the investment bankers, they will really explain it well to us. So that is the stance of also the government. That is what the government is also saying, because the NDC is talking about why listing somebody worth over 2.2 or a little over $2.2 billion. Why are you selling it $1.1 billion? So that is also the stance of the government.
Yeah, you know, and there's another concerns raised. You know, there'll be several concerns, but there's another major concern. They are again accusing the government of restricting access to information on the deal.
Yes, yes, I was coming to that. This Agyapa royalty company is registered in tax haven in New Jersey, and when you register a company under this policy, that is tax haven, nobody have access. Nobody have access to know the owners of the company or get information about the company. So that is one question the opposition is asking. That if this Agyapa royalty is for us, you are saying it belongs to we the Ghanaians, then why do you have to register the company under this condition? Because the NDC or the opposition party is having these concerns, because they are believing that since the government has registered the company under this tax haven, it means the 49% shares that the government is going to list or the government is going to sell, these shares has already been bought. Either it has already been bought secretly, or there will be people in government who will be behind people who buy these shares. Because at the end of the day, when these shares is being sold, nobody will have information about the right owners of it. That is also one concern the opposition is also raising.
Yeah.
Yes, that's one concern the opposition is also raising.
National asset. So they have, I believe, they have every right as any patriotic Ghanaian should think about it, because it's our future.
Yes.
Our future. So
yes,
right
that is true, because if it's for us, we should be privy to everything that is going on. Do you understand? And the government is so the opposition is asking for the prospectus. That is the prospectus to trade these shares on the stock market, because up to date, this prospectus they are not on the market. Do you understand? But the government is also saying, because it's going to be traded, they don't want it to be on the market so early, so that at least this information will be going up and down. So at the due time, this information will come to the people, or it will be on the market. So these are also the genuine concerns the opposition is also raising, because they don't believe. That is why initially they are saying this company is being owned by certain people that came with a term like Sakawa, the Achem Sakawa, because they believe they are the people who are going to own this 49% of these shares. So it means they are going to take over this 49% of these shares. So that is also a genuine concern. I think the opposition is also having a strong point there that the government have to, because as a patriotic Ghanaian and as a Ghanaian as we are, if something belongs to us, we should be privy to everything concerning the project. It shouldn't be something that we can't access for information. So the opposition also have a point that I believe the government needs to set up to at least answer some of these questions that the opposition is raising.
Yes, I'm not interrupting you, but there we have a lot of questions today. Today you are in deep waters. You are in hot soup. So let me read the first question from Beatrice. Beatrice Apiacham, he said that where is this $200 million going to, and how does the ordinary Ghanaian track it?
Okay, so this 200 million, they are royalties that I get from this concession every year. And the company called MIF, that's the Mineral Income and Investment Fund. It was set to invest these monies into Ghanaian-owned companies. So these funds were set to invest into Ghanaian-owned companies and for development of the country. So it was not coming to a group of people, but it was meant to be invested into a Ghanaian-owned companies.
Okay, all right. So I have another question from Godi, my friend Fatman Godi. He said, what are the reasons why only a certain clan was involved in the deal, and who are the private owners of Agyapa deal? Like, he has two questions. That why is it that only a certain clan was involved in the deal, and who are the private owners of the Agyapa deal?
Yeah, thank you very much. When you say a certain clan, when you mention of a certain clan, seriously, I don't really understand, because so far as I know, I don't know any clan that is involved. What I know is government, that is government official.
Implying the Achim Sakawa boys, as they are calling them. It's like some Achim group of people.
Yeah, that is why. Yeah, that is why I'm saying if you mention of a clan being involved, I would dispute that because these are government officials.
So,
Maybe the government, these are people whom he thinks they qualify to spearhead these projects. So that is
mm,
why maybe it's unfortunate or it's coincident. Most of them are chimps. That one, I can't really answer that much.
you cannot
I
answer
can't
this
really
question.
answer that much. But
Please,
to talk of
please, you cannot answer this question. I believe you can't. Please, I'll let I'll
yeah,
let
yeah,
you.
that one I can't. I can't.
No.
And his next question, he asked two questions. One was and one
Uh-huh.
was another question. The question were two. Why?
The second question was who are the private owners of the Agyapa deal?
Yeah, the
Like you see,
Agyapa, as I said,
private.
Agyapa, MIF, that's Mineral Income and Investment, and Agyapa Royalties, all belongs to GOG, that is Government of Ghana. They are they are all government companies.
Okay. Okay. So there's no private agency. Okay. And he has a third question. He said that why does it have to be an offshore account, which Ken Oforiatta also is also operating there too? Something is definitely not right with the whole process. So now he's talking about some offshore account, which Ken Oforiatta is operating there.
Yeah, I said earlier why the government registered the company under tax haven. You understand? To enjoy some taxes. It's like to enjoy tax holidays.
Okay.
Do you understand? When you register a company under tax haven, there are taxes you don't pay on it. So at the end of the day, it's like taxes that you need to pay. You enjoy it free. It's just like in Ghana here, we have something we call free zone. Do you understand? If you're a company, you register under free zone, you are exempted from tax within a certain period of time.
Okay.
Yes, so that is why it's being registered there. But if he wants to know, maybe he wants to know why maybe he wants to know why we can't get information from this company.
Yeah. But Nana, do you get feedback? You get echo?
No, I don't get any feedback. No,
Oh.
I don't get no feedback here.
Okay, okay. So Nyamicha Fosin, he said, I am glad to get a clearer understanding about it. That's a Japan deal. Now, may God help Ghana. So,
Amen.
Nana, this question
Yes,
I will
please.
ask again. I said that,
Okay.
are you sure a Japan is necessary when we already have this minerals income investment fund? You think a Japan is really necessary?
Yes, Agyapa is necessary.
Yeah.
Agyapa is necessary based on the reason it's set. Minerals Income and Investment is an investment company, and it cannot sell shares. That is why we call Agyapa SPV, Special Purpose Vehicle. Do you understand? The purpose of starting Agyapa was to list, to sell 49% of it.
Yeah.
So if there hadn't been an Agyapa, it means if government want to sell a certain portion of its shares to the Ghanaian public, the government cannot find way of selling it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
The main purpose of Agyapa. Let me give you some purpose of Agyapa. One is to help list the 49% on the stock exchange, and the primary listing will be done in London Stock Exchange. Then the secondary listing will be done on the Ghana Stock Exchange. And when you say primary listing, it means it will be listed there first. Then somebody will ask, if we are listing it or we are selling it on London Stock Exchange, then why also listing or selling it in Ghana Stock Exchange? It's believing that when you list stock, for all you know, it's not all the shares that will be bought. So the remaining of the shares that is not bought will be sold secondly. Or people who buy the shares at the primary listing or the first listing will also resell. So Ghana Stock Exchange will get the opportunity to also do all this.
Yeah.
And secondly is the money that we will get from this listing, this selling of 49%. The Agyapa is going to be in control of investing 20% of this money into Ghanaian-owned mining companies. That is where Chamaun, to me, the Ashanti Regional MPP chairman, is very happy about, because he's also into mining and he is into small-scale mining. So the government is going to invest 20% of this amount of money into this local mining company, making them also large companies like what these foreign nationals are bringing into Ghana, like Anglo Gold, Newmont, and the rest.
Okay.
So the purpose of Agyapa is not only for listing, it is also going to make sure it also help the local miners, because you really know what is happening now. Most of these mining companies are owned by foreign nationals, simply because local national, we don't have the capital. So that is also another purpose of Agyapa.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You know, there was a leaked document not very long ago from the Office of the Attorney General, which described the deal as unconscionable. You know, and I think they were also saying that it violated the Bank of Ghana Act in some way. So, is there any cause for concern as this leaked document was coming from the Attorney General Office?
Yes, yes. That is why I said there are a lot of concerns that the government needs to address, or the government needs to answer. And some are what I mentioned earlier, like why registered under tax haven, something that belongs to all of us. Why can't we get access to it? Do you understand? These are not even, it's not only the Attorney General. Last week, the special prosecutor, led by Martin Amidu, has even written a letter to Parliament for the document of this Agyapa deal to be brought to him, so that at least he can also review it. As I'm saying, there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions that I think the government needs to at least set up to make Ghanaians really understand everything that is going on. Because personally, register this company under tax haven, though we will be exempted in paying tax, but something that belongs to us, all of us have to, at least we have to know how things are going. We have to know the honest, understand, as the opposition are saying, because when you do this, then you raise the assumption, or you raise the suspicion that then few people can buy this. Because for instance, if Nana Okatakyie here, if I happens to maneuver my way of maybe getting some shares in it, nobody will be able to know maybe I own it. Do you understand? Or they also don't believe if there are a crude way of selling these shares, nobody will be. So these are concerns. These are concerns that opposition is giving, that this prospectus have to be made available, so that most of Ghanaians know how these are going to be traded, because they believe it will be traded under the evening. When you say under the evening, it will be traded underground. You understand? They believe it will not be traded in the morning of the business. You understand? So there are a lot of questions the government needs to be answered. Do you understand? And another question was also why this rush of passing this, why the rush for setting up these companies. Do you understand? Something that needs, yes, something that needs to be critically examined. Do you understand? Things were rushed. Do you understand? So all these are concerns, all these are genuine concerns I think the opposition has, and the government has to answer all these questions.
You know, for me personally, there is a case to be made for diversifying the country's sovereign wealth strategy, because every country is trying to move forward. Coronavirus has taught all nations in the world a great lesson. But do you think that it should be pursued at the higher cost of value? 75% of all Ghana's future royalties are 30% of the value, because that is what many people are worried about. That's it's something serious, you know. I believe you get my point.
No, come again.
Diversify our sovereign wealth, so that, as you said, to help small-scale miners by listing this on the stock markets and everything. But do you think that it is even worth it? You know, like pursuing it at the cost of 75% of all Ghana's future royalties at only 30% of their true value?
Yeah, that is why I said when you consult investment bankers, do you understand? Investment bankers, you see, every business has,
you know, it's very vast. 75% being valued at 30%. You know, the gap is too wide.
Yeah, the gap is too wide.
55, 60. You know, what do you think? This
is
your personal opinion. You are not a government representative, so I don't.
No, I'm not a government representative. I'm just a common Ghanaian who is also alleged in my view. You see, that is what I said. That is what. That is why I said when you consult investment bankers, do you understand? That is the reason they give. And if what they are telling us is right, then because the truth of the matter is, though, for instance, within the period of 15 years, if you are getting $2 million per annum, and for 15 years, it means you are getting somewhere around $2.2 billion for 15 years. But government is expected to get over 5 billion from this deal.
I get your point. And you know that it's also the purpose. I know that the purpose of the nature of the deal or the investment agreement is that to get a one-off payment of 1 billion. You know, but do you think it's wise to blindly support the deal as citizens due to party loyalty? Because I see so many people trying to politicize this issue. You know, when it's unclear what benefits will come out, you know, to the Republic of Ghana and the fund in general. Because if we take the money one-time payment and we mismanage the money, which we are good at. I know Africans and Ghanaians in particular, we are good in mismanagement. So what if we take this money, one-time payment of $1 billion, and we are not able to use it for its purpose? Because there have remaining complaints of money generated for different purposes, and they do not serve their purpose. No, that is my
you are right. Yeah, you are right. You are right. You are right. You are right. And I think that is also the concerns of the opposition. That's why the opposition really want to know the owners of this Agyapa, so that, or they want to get information about this, the up and coming of this company, so that should, in case of anything, at least they can also put questions. But in totality, as I said, personally, this is my personal stance on it. I think the Agyapa deal is best for Ghana. Just that government needs to be answerable to certain few questions concerning it. As we discussed, why can't we get information about the company? Why, for instance, why few people are spearheading the affairs of the company? Why were not let's say a general advert or publicity for people to apply for positions? And that, you understand, these are genuine concerns I think the government needs to answer. But in the general or in the broader view, looking at the reasons or the function this Agyapa is going to serve, I think it's going to help the country. It's going to help the country if only the proceeds that will come out of it will be used well. It will not end somebody's pocket. It will not end in somebody's account.
That is my fear. Who's going to serve its purpose?
Hello, I'm here. Another questions?
Okay, I have a question. One question from our lovely viewer, Beatrice. He said, thanks for the explanation, but why does the transaction look shady on the outside if the country stands to benefit from it? Now today you are in trouble.
Yeah, you see, that is what I said. That is what I said, that there are a lot of questions that needs to be answered concerning all this Agyapa deal. That is why I said personally, though I believe it's good for Ghana, there are a lot of questions that the government needs to answer, because the genuine question the opposition is raising, or the oppositions are raising, are genuine. They have genuine concerns. You understand? They are right. And I think the government needs to answer some of these questions. As I said, one is why the speed? Why the speed to at least make this deal? That is one. Why wasn't made public for every Ghanaian to apply for some of these positions, or for every Ghanaian to contribute? Why registered under tax haven? You understand? So some of all these questions needs to be answered. And why up to now these prospectus are not out for people to really know how it's going to be traded, so that if any questions, people can really ask genuine questions. So these are all concerns I think the government has to at least be up and doing to at least clear the minds of Ghanaians.
Yeah.
Aside this, I think.
Go ahead, Nana.
Yeah. Aside this, I think if the government is able to answer some of these questions, I think the deal will be better for Ghana, because, as I said, the money that this deal is going to bring has never been realized from this fund before.
Okay, let's hope for the best, Nana. Let's hope for the best.
Thank you.
So I believe you've answered most of our questions, and since there are no more questions, I'd like us to talk about illegal mining. You mentioned something about small-scale mining and illegal galamsey. So can you explain the difference, small-scale mining and illegal mining? Because I also see some Chinese people destroying our water bodies, mining, destroying the land itself, and then even some of them exporting or carrying the soil back to their home countries, or China, especially the Chinese. So what do you have to say about that? Can you explain the difference between small-scale miner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is small-scale mining and there is illegal mining, which is popularly known as galamsey.
Galamsey. Yeah. The galamsey came from the word gather and sell. Gather and sell. Yeah. During the olden days, when the mining companies mine an area, you see the local people. They will just be going on the field. Then they will be picking small. Then after they go and sell. So it came from the word gather and sell. That is galamsey. Yeah, you are right. Initially, Ghana. You see, that is why I said the Mineral Commission, the EPA, and the other regulatory bodies that needs to make sure these mining activities were being regulated. One or the other was not strict on it. So the only thing people were doing is, for instance, if I'm a miner, I discover there is a gold in this area. Let's say Abuna Sunredro plot 5. If I discover there is a gold there, I just go and see the chief or the landowner. I buy the line, I bring my machines, then I mine. And in Ghana, that's why I said initially that when you discover a gold site, or you discover an area that contains gold, though it's for you, the surface of the land belongs to you, but what is under belongs to the government. So you need to report to the Minerals Commission. Then the Mineral Commission come and work on the land. When they discover that there are a lot of gold on it, then the place will be set aside as a gold territory. That a document will be written on it to make a concession, so that people can really at least come and mine the place. So when we say this illegal mining, all that we are trying to say is people mining without having the necessary document or the necessary licenses and document to do so. But as you know, President Kufuor, ex-President Kufuor started carving down on this.
Okay.
Then Atamils came and continue, Mahama continue, and Akufo-Addo has also done same. So as I'm speaking with you now, in Ghana, we don't have something like galamsey. What we have is community mining. And this is what the government is doing. You do it with the community. Before you get a concession to mine, you the community, that is the administrative body of the government there. You do it with the administrative body of the government there. That's the local government, like the district assemblies, plus chiefs and their elders. You work in collaboration with them, so that at least you protect the land, because it came to the scene that most of our lands is being destroyed whilst we were not getting anything from it because it was dominated by these Chinese. They take the proceeds to their country whilst Ghana was losing. So the government is at least fighting against these illegal miners, but still, it's not easy. At least killing these illegal miners. We have some patches still going on.
And it's really, when you see gold mining countries like or gold-rich countries like South Africa, Johannesburg and the rest, how beautiful the places are, how they are highly developed. And then when you compare those places to Obuasi, that is supplying the whole of Ghana's gold. Like it's like the heart of the mine.
The heart of gold. The heart of gold in Ghana.
The heart of gold, in Ghana. But am I right to describe the place as the curse of gold, or what? Because
no, you see,
there's nothing to show. The place is not developed.
I understand.
Yeah, the place is like they are not good roads, not suitable or proper drinking water facilities. The people should be enjoying life because they are supplying the gold for the whole nation. And Ghana is the third highest producer of gold in the world.
Yeah.
So do you think it's fair? It's fair the way they've neglected Obuasi, Takwa, and other gold mining places in Ghana?
It isn't fair at all. But I don't blame. I blame our leaders. Do you understand? Because, for instance, if a mining company like AngloGold Newmont is coming to a place to mine, this company is going to take a greater worth. It's going to make a lot of money. Do you understand? So I think our leaders have to make sure the country or the region or the place should also benefit from it. You made mention of South Africa, and you were comparing South Africa to Ghana, and I think it has nothing to do with this. I don't think South Africa is developed because of the gold mines there. Do you understand? I think South Africa is developed simply because the whites made South Africa their home. The white never plan of returning to their home country. Do you understand? So I think South Africa being developed doesn't have any correlation with the mines.
I'm not comparing it in terms of gold mine. I'm just comparing that South Africa being the #1 producer of gold, and they're having concessions in Ghana. They're mining. Don't think they are taking advantage of us, and our leaders are not acting enough because it's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
From a place, and you're not doing anything to them. At least take it as a social responsibility.
Yes.
Develop the place.
That is right.
You cannot come and destroy our water, change the landscape of our land, or change the landscape because as they mine, there are so many beautiful sites that have been destroyed.
That is.
You cannot take some mine and then leave it like that. Take the money and leave. At least as a sense of social responsibility, you should do something. You should contribute. You should nobody should be telling them. I'm just trying to compare. I'm not saying that South Africa is developed because they are mining gold.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that comparing those two countries, when you see the way Obuasi and Takwa and other places are deprived of so many amenities, I don't think the people deserve to be treated that way because you are taking so much from them.
That is true. But I don't think it's only about gold mines. Every sector. Now, for instance, that's why I'm saying the onus lies on our leaders. Do you understand? If our leaders will be a little patriotic and think about us and not their pocket, then I think because, for instance, we had a lot of Chinese here. We have a lot of Chinese here. Do you understand? Who brought these Chinese? Are we saying when these people were coming, the immigration never saw them? When they started doing it, the people never saw them. Do you understand? It's our leaders who gave them the mandate, and everything that is going on, our leaders know, but because of their pockets. Do you understand? So until our leaders sit up, do you understand? These resources, though we are blessed with these resources, we are not going to get anything from it. That is one beautiful.
I'm not interrupting you. That's why a foreigner or Chinese or Lebanese can visit Ghana or stay, make Ghana their home and start maltreating the people.
That is it.
So
that
sad.
is it.
The person
Yes,
will tell
that
you,
is it.
you have authority. When you take the person to the police station, you would rather end up being accused of something you don't even
Yes.
know of.
Yes,
So
somebody will say Ghanaian hospitality. That is it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Our leaders, you understand, our leaders are not patriotic. They think of themselves alone. Most of them are not thinking about the masses. You understand? So when they get their fair share, they don't care about whatever will happen. That is why I said when these Chinese came and they were doing all that, were they doing it in Jupiter? They were doing it in Ghana. And are we not all here? Yes, we are all here. The places that they were doing it, those places are given out by our chiefs. They are given out by our leaders. They are given out by our people. They don't care about the rest. They are just caring about themselves. That's what I'm saying. Our leaders have to be patriotic. So till our leaders become patriotic, we go nowhere.
And even after arresting them, it will lead to nowhere. The police will go arrest them, and then the next day they are outside again, doing whatever they want. Anyway,
sometimes they even go and take money from them, not even arresting them. They go, they take money, then they leave them, then they'll be doing their own thing.
Corruption. And Obituary says the locals should be given the needed support to mine instead of allowing foreign investors who come to mine and send the revenue to their countries. Yeah, Beatrice, you are right. Can you have anything to say about that? Like locals.
Yes, that is why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is why I said. That is why I said I love. Despite a little challenges on this Agyapa, that is why I said I love it. Simply because 20% of this money will be invested into the local miners to make them strong. At least to make them become large scale mining, so that at least we can have Ghanaian large scale mining doing our own thing, so that every proceed that comes out of it will stay here, will not go to anybody's country.
Says that they should be compelled to give back to society by developing those areas, as I pointed out earlier. And he said that our leaders must be proactive and ensure that the nation benefit from these so-called investors. Yeah, as you also said, Nona, our leaders should be proactive,
Yes.
And make them, they are not willing to do, you must force them to do. After all, you are the government, you are the law. You decide.
It's not that they can't force them. It's not that they can't force them to do. Do you understand? They have the power, and the power rests on them. But just because of corruption, just because of their personal interest, do you understand? That's why I'm saying they turn blind eye to some of these things, because they can't tell us what is going on. They are not seeing it. Do you understand? But because of what they're getting from it, they become toothless backing bull. They see it, they back, but they can't bite.
It's unfortunate, Africa in general.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Unless we change our mindset. See, we are in Kuwait. What does Kuwait have? They only have oil. That is it. They don't even have arable land. Believe me, they import everything: food, vegetable, including water. They have to desaline. How do you call it? Desalinization. Their water has to undergo this desalinization process before they can even use it, can drink. Use it for other domestic purposes. But you come to this country, it's amazing. Looking at how they've developed their country with only oil, and looking at what Africa has. Come on, Africa is the richest. I would say it's the richest continent. But
yeah, the richest continent.
We are drowning in poverty. We are drowning in poverty. We are struggling to survive, which should not be so.
That is true.
Our leaders are not having a change of mindset. We as a people must change our mindset. We must change our mindset, because it's getting too much. How should we suffer when we are sitting on gold? We are sitting on bauxite, aluminium, everything. Ghana is what? The first producer, number one producer of cocoa in the world. And some children cannot even drink chocolate drink. They cannot even drink tea. Which is so
You're talking
sad.
about this. Cocobot have scholarship. Cocobot have scholarship for farmers farmers world, you ask yourself how many farmers world enjoy this scholarship.
How many of
They are
them?
being enjoyed by people whom have not even seen a bean of cocoa before.
Yes.
You understand? That's why I said unless our leaders sit up, we go nowhere. You talk of Kuwait having only oil, but they are developing. Talk of Japan. Talk of Japan. Japan doesn't have anything.
I'm not lying.
Japan doesn't have anything. Japan is not having anything, but look at Japan. Do you understand? Look at Africa. So I think this could be another topic for discussion another day. You understand? Yeah. Unless we come together and we change our mindset, we go nowhere.
We should change our mindset. Greed, corruption. It will not take us anywhere. Like, you want it in your own pocket. You want to benefit with your family or enjoy with the nation's wealth with your family only. It's not fair. You can't struggle. Always remember that there's judgment. Once you die, you face judgment. So think twice. God has given you a responsibility to take care of your nations. African leaders, please wake up. Wake up and think about us. We are suffering so much. And we complain, why did she travel to Kuwait? Why did she travel to Saudi Arabia? See what our girls are going through. Working as housemaids. And the boy, there's so many unprintable words that I cannot even speak. You know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, my brother. We don't have to go through all of this. People have died on the desert, Libya, on their way to Libya. People have drowned in the sea as they are trying to cross over to Italy and other places. You think that if Africa was okay, if we were having a better life back home, you would think about traveling, and then some people will sit back and then try to defend some politicians. Huh? No. You try to defend because I am PWC, I am OMB. So because of that, if your leader is doing something you just turn a blind eye. We must wake up. Unless we wake up, we continue dying of sickness, and then these people, these oppressors will continue to oppress us. They will take us for granted. They will steal our resources. You know, they will steal our resources. And then they will make sure that we remain at the lower level so that they can always climb on us. I hope
that's true.
Rightful.
That's true. That's true. So as I said, unless we sit up and we change our mindset, we go nowhere. Do you understand? We will be blessed. We will be blessed with all the minerals on this planet. But if we don't change our mindset, yes, and when I say changing of mindset includes all of us, because our leaders are also part of us. They are Ghanaians. So unless we all change our mindset, we'll be patriotic. We put our country first. As America will say, America first. Yes. As American will say, America first. Do you understand? Anything America first before any other thing. Until we do that, Africa and Ghana, we go nowhere.
Yeah. You know, Beatrice has also made a very important point here. She said, I would say politics is not allowing us to develop because there are people who will not care whether the leader is good or not, but they will vote them into power because of party politics. You are absolutely right, Beatrice. I just mentioned. You are absolutely right.
Yeah, that is right.
Any final advice? I think our time is fast spent, and we need to round up. So if you have any final advice for people watching you, friends and loved ones, if you want to greet them or anything, you can just go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think what I would say finally is, as Beatrice rightly said, we should be Ghanaians. We should be Ghanaians, but we shouldn't be partisans. Do you understand? Being whether your party or you're not, or not your party, you should do the right thing. Yeah. As Beatrice said, here people wear colors. Somebody who belongs to MPP. Whatever NDC will do is bad. Knowing is good, but they will never praise you. because they want everything bad from you.
Yes.
Vice versa, somebody who also belong to NDC and MPP will also be doing something good, but because it's not his or her party, just condemning it. And I think that is what the politicians are taking advantage of it.
Yes.
Because if Ghanaians are becoming discerning, if they know you are discerning, when you do this, these people will jam on you. You understand? At least they will sit up and do the right thing. And because of that, I love some few politicians. Do you understand? No matter where they are from, if it's even if it's their party and they are doing something that they feel is not right, they come out publicly, condemn it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But you see most of them not having the edge, the power to do that. So we have to put Ghana first. As I said, this Agyapa deal, I support it personally. But there are a lot of questions that needs to be answered. And until those questions are being answered, I don't give my 100% support to it.
Okay, good citizen. This is what we call good citizen. Good citizen, Okatakyie. So today, Akata Slopster had a great time on full time bus. Yeah, so
Great, great.
Slopster and Okatakyie. Okatakyie and Slopster. Akata
Closer,
Slopster.
yeah. Closer, yeah, you're right.
We
You're
are just
right.
trying to be as patriotic as we can. So God bless you. I know this is not going to be the last time, so I'll not say much. It has really been a nice time, a wonderful time spent with you. This 1 hour has been awesome. I've really learned. I've learned why we call it Galamsey. Uh-huh. So now I know one thing. I've learned one thing. Galamsey. Why we call it Galamsey. Thank you very, very, very much, Nana. God bless you. So you have another time. Have a lovely day. Okay, lovely people. Thank you for sticking by. As always, we appreciate your love and support. The name is Grace, and this is Full Time Buzz TV. Continue supporting us by liking and sharing our videos so that others will learn what is happening in our various African countries. Tomorrow, we will have Africa in retrospect with lawyer Kwamna Boateng, same time. Don't miss the show. It's going to be an interesting discussion about will or making valid will. So thank you so much again. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Among the delegates, Tom Mboya, the 28-year-old trade union leader from Kenya, son of an illiterate fisherman, graduate of Ruskin College, Oxford, and chairman of the conference. Mr. Kojo Botsio, Ghanaian Minister of External Affairs. Dr. Cartwright, an observer from America. And the German ambassador. In Black Africa, the Germans are not regarded as imperialists. And last of all, the hero of the nation, the man whose birthday is a public holiday and whose face appears on the country's stamps and coins, Kwame Nkrumah, Prime Minister of Ghana. The rash of slogans everywhere had put the delegates in a receptive mood for the fighting speech which Mr. Nkrumah had prepared. There were cries of freedom as he entered the hall.
We want, therefore, to develop our own community and an African personality. Others may feel that they have evolved the very best way of life, but we are not bound, like slavish imitators, to accept it as our mold. If we find the methods used by others are suitable to our social environment, we shall adopt or adapt them. If we find them unsuitable, we shall reject them. Fighters for African freedoms, I appeal to you in the sacred name of Mother Africa to leave this conference resolved to rededicate yourselves to the task of forming among the political parties in your respective countries a broad united front based upon one common fundamental aim and object, the speedy liberation of your territories. Don't let us also forget that colonialism and imperialism may come to us yet in a different guise, not necessarily from Europe. We must alert ourselves to be able to recognize this when it rears its head and prepare ourselves to fight against it. This mid-20th century is Africa's. This decade is the decade of African independence. Forward then to independence now. Tomorrow, the United States of Africa.
Already, Dr. Nkrumah has taken the first step towards his ambition. Ghana and the former French colony of Guinea are to form a federation. Next on the list could be Nigeria, due for